Hello guys, how's it going? It's Josh here, hope you're all doing well. Back today in prepared 3D version 4.5 with the QualityWings 787. It's the -9 variant in the Air Canada livery. So we're just loading up the bags now for our next flight of long-haul memes today. It is Charlie Foxtrot Romeo Tango Whiskey, I think. Yes, yeah, there it is. One of however many 787s Air Canada have. I don't really keep up to date with the fleet lists on that side of the world. We're on the ground at Zurich today on stand Echo 3.5, one of the heavy stands. Oh look, there's a Swiss over there. And we're going to take this back to its home base of Toronto. I'm in the process at the moment of trying to get all of my aircraft back to their bases on Project Fly, and this one I had spotted. I knew it had been here a while, but it's actually been here since October last year when we did the last cross the pond. I'm going to take a screenshot of that because that looks rather nice. So I figured that it was about time we got this aircraft back to its base, and so that's what we're going to do today. This is Air Canada 879. This is their daily flight between Zurich and Toronto. It's usually done in an A330, but I figured A, we don't have a decent A330 that's capable of A to B operations, and B, this needed to go back, so whatever. We are taking with us today a payload, or a total payload of 35 tons. It's giving us a total zero fuel weight of 165.8 tons even, and a takeoff weight 212.1. So not the heaviest I think we've ever been, but pretty decent enough. We're on that Foxtrot today, initially routing out over Belgium, where we're avoiding the entirety of France today, then routing out over the UK, over Wales, Ireland, Nat Fox, down through Boston, the usual way, the usual stuff, you know what it is. Airtime 7 hours and 53 minutes today. We're cruising initially flight level 360, eventually stepping up 38, and then as high as 400. So we're getting as high as 400 today. Again, nothing unusual for the 787. So GSX is pretty much almost done now, so we'll jump over into the flight deck and get everything set up and ready to go by doing this and carrying on. I apologise if I click out and the sound dies. That is a quality meme. I don't really know what is causing that. They seem to have not figured out the keeping the sounds in background or whatever. But whatever. So, IRS's flight deck door. We'll arm the emergency exit lights and bring the window heats on. Cabin seats for utility, battery. We'll get some lights because it's rather dark. So overhead panel, glare shield. And then we'll go down to here, get the backlights on these. Here, that's already come on. And down here as well, I think, somewhere, the aisle stand lights. Perfect. And so we need on lights for a minute. What else can we do? Packs can come on. And seatbelts can come on, because all the payload and whatnot's loaded now. So everything's pretty much good to go. Come down to the FMC and we'll start getting everything lit up, ready to go. So Lima Zulu Sierra Hotel. No, it's not. It's LSZH. As if I actually put that in wrong. That's hilarious. Gate is still not modelled, so we'll just whack the initial routing there and go over to here. We'll go over to here, route request, it's here. So we'll route request that, and our flight number today, as I said, is Air Canada 879er. Go in there. We'll depart. I actually don't know what runway they're departing from, so we'll go and check that out very quickly. I think it's probably going to be 14 maybe. We'll have a look very quickly. I've got a sneaky suspicion it is 14 they're departing. Let's see. 16, close enough, it'll do. Oh, actually, no, because there's an aircraft down there. Taxiing out. I don't know. Yeah, we'll say 16. So we're departing runway 16. It's going to be on the Vebit 3 Sierra. And we'll activate and execute that. We'll get our...
Pre-flight checklist.
Actually, we can't really do that. Now, in theory, the QW pass is going to work with the Air Canada announcements, but I mean, how well that's going to work is yet to be seen. So there's route, and that's all fine. So we'll go over to performance now. So everything's already filled out there. I've got reserves today of 5. Cruise 360. Cost index we'll use 60. I have no idea what Air Canada use, and we'll execute that. Beautiful. So that's all of that. We'll come over to down here and we'll get some performance data going now. So Lima LSZH ident search. Wow, okay. You actually can't go back. Ident search. Runway 16. Conditions are dry. We'll see if that's right. It's actually not. So it's actually, is it? Yeah, that's close enough. 13 and 1013. That's 1031. 1031. Beautiful. Thrust rating optimum. Flaps optimum. Our takeoff weight today is 212. Yep, that's fine. So we'll calculate that. Apparently we're not using any form of D-rate today, which is interesting. Okay, that's fine. So we'll send that output, we'll send that to FMC, and we'll accept that. And that puts everything ready to go. So, 162 is today's V2 speed, so we'll get that in there. Runway heading we need to check, but I think it's 162 or something. Oh no, it's 153. So I'll bring that up there. Perfect. Boarding is complete. And the initial climb on the Vebit 3 Sierra today, have a look. Vebit 3 Sierra has initial climb of 5,000 feet. So we'll do that. Left flight director, right flight director, LNAV and VNAV, auto throttles armed. And we'll get this set up. So we want, no, we don't want terrain, we want traffic, data and the VORs and the VSD. And then on this side we want terrain, traffic, data and the VOR. So that can go on there. And everything else I think is pretty much good to go. I don't think we've missed anything. TCAS needs to go to 2000. There's no ATC out of Zurich today. It's a little bit too early for them. Too early for everyone. So 122.8 can go in there. And we can start the APU. So APU can start. We'll start closing all of these doors now. Like so. Please. There we are. And we'll pressurize all of these. Center pumps. I seem to remember we do have center pumps on, or zoom this all the way down, because we've actually got the ground thingy today. And verify straps. Sorry, I couldn't resist saying that. Okay, so unless we've missed something, which I don't think we have, that's all filled in. I mean, we actually could do this, I suppose. So 1500, 3000, it's acceleration. Cool. I think we're pretty much ready to go. So all the doors are closed, so we can prepare for pushback and departure now. We need to push back nose to the right today, I think. What the hell's going on here? Yes, nose right. From here, we'll bring the ground charts up very quickly. Echo 32, so to the right. Where's runway 16? Well, actually, no. Runway 16 is here. We're on Echo, so we actually need to push back to the left and then taxi up.
We
okay.
ask that you pay attention to this short video.
Oh! It works!
En prévision du décollage, asseyez-vous confortablement. Redressez le dossier de votre siège et rangez votre tablette.
In preparation for takeoff, make sure you're comfortably seated with your seat back upright and tray table stowed. For your safety, you must wear your seatbelt when the seatbelt light has been turned on, and we suggest wearing it even when the sign is turned off.
Pour votre sécurité,
That is quite impressive.
ceinture bouclée.
That's QW pass work in there.
Air quality is important to us.
Hello,
That's
Captain.
why we
We're
always
ready for
ensure
pushback.
that you enjoy a non-smoking environment.
La qualité de l'air est importante pour nous. C'est pourquoi nous tenons à vous offrir un environnement sans fumée. À partir de maintenant, et jusqu'à ce qu'une annonce soit faite à l'arrivée, les appareils électroniques portatifs
It's set there.
entreront
Beautiful.
en mode avion.
At this time, your portable
Beacon light can come on now.
set to airplane mode until an announcement is made upon arrival.
And it's literally just now the stuff that we know about. So engine shutdown, hydraulics, fuel pumps, all of that good stuff.
Sometime before takeoff.
La carte illustrée placée dans la pochette du siège ou dans le porte-revue explique les nombreux éléments
Departure
de
check
sécurité
completed.
retracés d'avion.
Bypass bin inserted.
Connaissance avant le
Release
décollage.
parking
If
brakes.
there is a need to evacuate the aircraft, leave your
Commencing
personal
push.
So we'll push back.
All engines clear. Start at will.
aisle to the nearest emergency exit.
S'il fallait évacuer l'avion, laissez
Okay,
vos
starting
effets
engines.
Suivez
Start the
le
engines.
siège côté couloir jusqu'à l'issue de secours la plus proche.
There are 4 exits located on each side of the aircraft. All of these are indicated by a green exit sign. Please locate the one nearest you.
Il y a
I
4
forgot to
issues
remove the
de
jetway.
chaque côté de l'appareil. Elles sont toutes signalées par une enseigne verte. Veuillez repérer celle qui est la plus près de vous.
I've done something to the sounds. They
Si la
sound quite
pression
nice
de
from in
l'avion
it. I'm
change,
staying in it.
un masque à oxygène ou une languette rouge tombera du panneau au-dessus de vous. Restez assis, tirez la languette ou le masque vers vous. Utilisez ensuite la bande élastique pour maintenir le masque sur votre nez et votre bouche et respirez normalement pour activer l'arrivée d'oxygène. Mettez toujours votre masque avant d'aider quelqu'un.
If the cabin pressure changes, an oxygen mask or a red tab will drop from the panel above you. Remain seated. Pull the mask or the tab to bring the mask towards you.
Wait, do Air Canada use General Electric? Or Trents? Does it not say on the engines?
Dans le cas d'un amérissage,
Perfect, so I actually forgot to pressurise the hydraulics, so there's that.
siège près du repose-jambe. Retirez la bande élastique au besoin et
That's
serrez
cleared
le
everything
gilet.
out now. So,
Enfilez le gilet. Fixez la
that's
pochette.
runway
Ajustez la ceinture.
3-2.
Si vous avez besoin d'aide ou si vous avez des préoccupations, adressez-vous simplement à
There.
l'un d'entre nous.
So we're
Merci d'avoir
facing
choisi
that
de
way.
voyager avec Air Canada.
We've actually pushed back the wrong way, but that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll just do a 180 and then come back round to runway 16. Because that is...
Set parking brakes.
Set the parking brake. Oh, why is honestly Zurich so hard to navigate? Right, so we're routing out that way. So we're facing towards 3-2, right? So we can just spin a 180 and head down. Well, actually, no, we do. We need to come down and do a 180. That's fine. Right, they're disconnecting the tow now. Everything else is set up and ready to go, though. So packs are all on.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass bin removed.
Perfect. So we'll set the flaps 5, and we'll set the trim as well, 4.5 units, which is set. And then we can do a flight control check. So we'll come over to System and Flight Control, and we'll do a flight control check. So full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder full left, and rudder full to the right. Beautiful. We need to do the checklist. So before taxi checklist, anti-ice is not required. Recall is checked. Auto brake is RTO. Flight control is checked. Ground equipment is clear. And that is the before taxi checklist complete. So we can bring the taxi lights, turn off lights, and everything else. Lights. Release the parking brake. I said it's simulating the wind though, blowing on the pitot tubes. I like that. Those engines look so nice. Damn. Anyway, here's runway 16. So,
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
strobe lights, takeoff light, landing lights. That's all we need from there. Cabin's notified. We'll zoom these out to like 5. And down there goes to 14. Runway verified. Alright, let's go. So let's bring the power in. Stable.
Check thrust. Thrust set.
Checked.
80 knots.
Checked.
Checked.
Look at us go.
B1. Rotate. B2.
Rotate. Nice and slowly. Positive rate. Gear up.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Yep, got there, mate. Onto the flight directors now. Dude, look at that though. What a view. Damn. That is one epic, epic view. Alright, autopilot can come on.
Autopilot on.
Let's start bringing the nose down for us. Actually forgot to do the before takeoff checklist, but whatever. Well, we'll reset MCP out now. We'll clear all of those out. 360 can be set. Start the sweeping left-hand turn. Looks nice. Laps 1.
Flaps up.
And flaps up. Nice flaps up, beautiful. I'll go direct to Brego, I guess. Yeah, I'll go direct to Brego. I'll change that to max bank as well. So this doesn't like making sharp turns.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist is complete. Passing transition now, I think, so standard pressure is set once, twice, and 3 times. We'll round off Brego. Like so. Bring these out into the cloud. We'll be on our way. Well, about 7.5 hours to go now. So, as per usual, I shall speak to you all when we're a little bit further down. I don't know why my sim is dying now. This cloud has killed it. But I'll speak to you all once again. We're a little bit further down the way towards Toronto. Speak to you in a bit. Okay then, folks. So we're just in the well, I say we're just in there. We're short to be in the descent. We've managed to make the step all the way up to flight level 400. We are with ATC at the moment. Montreal Centre is on for us to carry through this section of airspace. We'll shortly be leaving him, but not quite yet. We've got a little bit longer to run. You can see here we're 190 miles from our descent. See it, and then on the TD on the ND and the VSD there, and that makes it an appropriate time to start planning the arrival. Now, as far as ATC goes, at the moment we have Toronto Centre on. Hopefully they'll stay online for us, but if they don't, then then they don't. In terms of the weather down on the ground, it's not fun at all. It's the latest status for them is the wind 080 at 12, gusting 17. Which isn't too bad. However, the remaining part of the weather really is. So the visibility right now is 1 stature mile. It says 2 on the ATIS, but ActiveSky is saying 1.1 or 1,800 meters. So the visibility is terrible. It's going to be a Category 3 approach today, so we know that. The runway RVR for runway 05 is 5,500 to more than 6,000 upgrading, so maybe it'll be a Category 3 auto land. It may not. We may be able to still get away with a Cat 2 or a Cat 1. Light rain and mist is reported. There's cloud at 400 feet, cloud at 900 feet. It's 7 degrees, the dew point 6, and it's 2975. They're using ILS runway 05 and ILS 06 left. And yeah, so we'll see what happens in terms of that. We'll come over to the ground chart and we'll figure out which runway is going to be best to use. So let's see if I can find where this thing parked. Terminal 1. So if we have a look at the chart very quickly and we come down to here. Low visibility, actually we can come to that in a minute. So Terminal 1 is here, so it's going to be better to use 2-4 left, I think. We're using 2-4 left and 2-5 left, weren't they? Oh no, I tell a lie, I'm completely wrong. They're using 0-5 and 0-6 left, so 0-6 left, in which case is definitely going to be the better one. So that's fine by me. So we are going to therefore be arriving ILS runway 6 left. We are landing today, or expecting the Vibli 4. There from Letak, and it'll probably be the Apuli.
457, bon après-midi, squawk 0353.
Lippy. We can execute that, and that adds all of those dots up there. Liran will go Liran and then vectors because there's no form of approach on. Go over to fix and Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu. And we can do the fixes 4 miles, 10 miles, and 15 miles as well. We can get the winds.
Times 457 heavy. Radar identified that flight level
updated.
370.
And well, they've all disappeared, but fine.
Thank you, sir.
Load on. Oh, hang on. Load on route page. Data load. And we can execute all of that, and that gives the remaining part of the winds in. So we need to take 3 tons off the inlet ref, which is 173.2. That needs to go in there. Oh, actually, we can't do that. We need to come over to the dispatchy performance thing, I think, don't we? Show landing it. Here we go. So Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu. We runway 6 left. Condition is wet right now. The wind is 07012. As previously. Wow, really? 07. What? That's not right at all. 07012. There we go, that's better. The outside air temperature is 7 degrees, so anti-ice will be within that today, and 1007 or 2975. It's going to be a Category 3 approach, flap 30, anti-ice engine, reverses no credit, spoils auto, brake probably be auto brake 2, and we will get the landing data in, so the landing weight in, which is going to be 173. 242. And we'll do VREF. We've got headwind of 12 knots, so we'll add VREF to 12. Like so. Not 122, Jesus Christ. We can calculate all of that now, so auto brake 1 is going to be absolutely fine to use. So we'll use auto brake 1. Go in there, and we can send that output to the FMC. And we can accept that landing data there, adding 12 to the limit there. In terms of NADRAD, we can get the ILS in, because why not? It's 112.1. Oh, hang on, and we need to put the course in, which is... Actually, that's completely wrong. It's 109.1 and 057. 109.1 and 157. In there, perfect. And that leaves pretty much everything else. That's 160 miles to the descent. I'll look up the minimas. suppose we can do that quickly. Minimas, category 3, 735. So we'll do 740. Like so, beautiful. So, we're about, I don't know, let's see, another 45 minutes-ish from descent. So it should be good fun. I shall speak to you all in a bit. Alright then, folks, so just in the descent now, 7,000 feet. About to make the right-hand turn to join the localizer. The weather has inherently improved. The wind is no longer gusting. It's still at a steady 12 knots, but it is, as I said, now steady. The visibility's increased to 4 miles now, so still not fantastic, but a lot better than what it was. It's still raining. It's still 7 degrees. The altimeter is still 1007. We seem to be accelerating quite excessively there, so I'm going to bring out the speed brakes at this point in time. It's turned us a little early. I don't really know as to why that is, but we'll deal with it. Just QualityWings in a nutshell, I suppose, if we can put this back to auto. But I don't think it's going to make much difference. What's our flap speeds? If we're slow enough, I'll start bringing flaps out, but I don't know what our flap speeds are. Oh, here they are. So flap 1 is 260 knots, flap 5 is 240 knots. So we'll bring out flaps 1, because we can, and then we'll follow that very quickly by flap 5, which we're just about to dip under the threshold for, at 240 knots. There we go, so flap 5. We'll probably end up riding the speed brakes all the way down now.
Please return all seat backs and tray tables to their upright and stowed position. Ensure all portable electronic devices are turned off.
Perfect. In terms of missed approach today, it is 06 left. 3,100. So we'll set 3,100 there. So that's the missed approach altitude set. Well, we'll bring the speed brakes in now, and we'll arm those as well. We may need them again, we may not, who knows. As we know, final approach course is 057 degrees, so we'll set that now. Just starting to come through the cloud now, which is nice. So I want 057. We'll carry out with flaps 10 now, because we can. Yep, we're slow enough to go as far as we're actually almost slow enough to go full flaps. We're 16 DME, so we'll arm all the approach stuff. There's the localizer, and we'll have the glide rather shortly, hopefully. It's going to start complaining about drag, but that's fine. We're monitoring that, and it seems to be fine. A little bit below the glide, but that's slowly correcting itself, I think. Very slowly, almost non-existently, but that's fine. Might go into VS. Yeah, it's sending us a little bit too fast, so I'm going to go into VS and just start bringing that back a touch, because that's quite excessive. If we sort of bring that down to about 400 feet a minute, that should well, start bringing us down quite nicely, which it has. Nice rain effects from the rain, obviously. Anti-ice can come on. It is on auto, but it's not saying that it's on. So I'm going to put that on engine anti-ice. We're closing at 10 miles now, so I'm going to go gear down. And flap 15. Wipers on as well if I can find them. There they are. Beautiful. That's checked. We're on the glide as well now. And so we can start bringing the speed all the way back now. We're 143, 153, 155 is final approach speed today. So I'll start slowing down to that. I'll go flap 20. Which is sat there. Set there even, not sat there. And we'll continue all the way out flap 30 now. Beautiful, and short of speed brakes, that's about as good as we're going to get in terms of drag. It'd be nice if the auto thrust powered down, because it needs to power down to bring our speed to 155, but whatever. This cloud is killing my FPS, which is not good. So I'll maintain this for the minute. The automatics are doing their thing, and the auto land in the QualityWings is actually pretty mint, so if we need it, it's there.
Landing checklist.
We can perform the landing checklist now. That's completed. Land 3 is checked. And we're closing at 6 miles now, 5.5 miles. Can't see anything, but then again, it is still 4 miles on the Meta according to ActiveSky, so not quite expecting to see anything yet. I'll put my hands on the controls on the autopilot disconnect button that I've got set, and we'll be ready once we are visual with the runway. Just start to see the lead-in lights now on the Pappy. You see the rabbits there. We'll just get a little bit further below this cloud to make sure I'm entirely happy with that, which I am.
Approaching minimums.
Just before minimums as well. Could not be better if we tried. Continue. FlyTampa doing its thing there, changing the scenery to urban as opposed to rural, because there's that. 2 red, 2 white, bang on the localizer, pretty much bang on the glide. We're a little bit high, but we can fix that now. We've lost a Pappy, but we'll bring the nose down and we'll fix that. I feel comfortable that we can still carry on. A little bit high, and a plane's just spawned on the runway. I love that symbol. Continue anyway, because I'm not going around for idiots.
200.
Wow, what a way to ruin an approach in the video. Ridiculous.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
It's actually off the runway though, so that's precision. Very nice. Reverses. Decel. Plenty of runway to use. We're not stopping very quickly. We'll ramp up the reverses, I think. Which, yeah, I'll do. Just carry on, let the auto brakes do their thing. I've used about the amount of runway that it told us we were going to use. Auto brakes can disarm now. We expected to use full length with the weather today, so that's fine. We're expected 7 hours and 53. We've taken 7 hours and 59. Not helped with the monstrous winds that we've had over the Atlantic today. Spin it around now.
At that time, please remember to check around your seating area, in the seat pockets.
This really does not like to turn this plane, does it?
That you brought on board. Please take care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
It's very smooth taxi though, I'll give it that. Oh, that can come off. APU can come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do that. Can disarm the auto, we'll turn the auto brake off. Bring all the flaps in. Turn that off. And that one was never on, so that's fine. And we want Terminal 1 for parking today. So we'll have a look at ActiveSky, see what that gives us. Gate. I guess 139. Will do quite nicely. Right, well, slow it down here. And while I get my charts up, so we want 139. Where's the parking chart? Commuter parking. Yeah, what? Parking units. That's not good. There's like... Oh yeah, here we go. Damn, that's really weird. So we are on Charlie, and we're 13 something. So we basically want to follow this other... I don't know what that flashing is. I think it's the rabbits for the one of the other runways. But either way, that's... I'm going to work out where the hell we are here. So we need to follow this round, and then we're down there somewhere. One thing actually, a split-second decision I know, but I'm going to take the turn onto the terminal here, because then we'll see it a lot better. Where we need to go. We said 139. I can't even see that on the chart. 138. Oh, there's 139. What a really weird position to have it. So we basically just need to follow this all the way around. That's fine. That's easy. The parking stands are laid out in a really weird way here. I'll tell you what, is it me, or does this Toronto scenery just look better than it ever has before? Like, damn, that is nice. .139 is like on the edge here somewhere. I really hope it's not occupied by that KLM though, because it looks like it may well be. And I'm going to be really sad if it is. Although, no, I'm not, because QW787. Right, let's see where we are. We get another standard reference here, that will be okay. So there's 136. Yeah, so we're just round here. I think we should be... Yeah, there we are. Nice. Is my speed brake still out? Yes, they are. It should not be. What is that? Checklist. Oh, it's gone back to the before takeoff checklist, so whatever. This weather is abysmal, though. Right, here we are, 139er. We make a turn here somewhere. These triangles. Wait, what? We need to come in that way. Yeah, we do. Okay. I see now. Well, that's 140. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where the hell is the turn for 139? Have we missed it? Well, that's 141. Oh, it's round here, I see. I'm looking in the wrong place. What's the matter with me? A roadway there? It's pretty cool. KLM though with a new livery. It's nice. Yeah, so we need to come out all the way to here. Caden makes sense. Alright. Slow it down, make the turn. Actually, if you get doesn't turn very sharp, so we need to be careful that we don't overshoot here. Although I think we've judged that about right. Yeah, that's not too bad actually, not too shabby. Very nice. Yeah, that was a near perfect turn. Not quite, but near enough. Good enough for me. We'll come to the external camera and have a look at the things here. There's no things as such, so I guess we'll use like number 2, because that would make sense, right? Or number 1 will do. That'll do. It thinks we're off centerline, but I mean GSX, so what can you say? Right, lights can come off, and APU is running, so we will turn that off, turn the transponder off. Anti-ice off. Wipers off. Throttles, flight directors, hydraulics, beacon, fuel pumps, and we can request deboarding. We should have SOD hopefully. We can only go to one left apparently, but I think that's a QualityWings thing. It's also decided to use the wrong jetway. So there's that. We'll get the cargo doors open. Or it's actually going to 2 left. I need to get a GSX config for this, because it's a bit broken. Probably going to ask us to do some really weird things, but who knows. Anyway, another successful flight in the bag. Abysmal weather, but good plane. Let me just change the doors because that's going to trigger the hell out of me otherwise. But yeah, good flight, good plane, bad weather, but nice scenery. And another flight or another plane of Project Fly back at its base for now, till the next time. But that is it from me for today, guys. I hope people enjoyed watching as always, and yeah, as per usual, be sure to like the video and comment if you want to comment, if you think there's something constructive or not constructive or informative or whatever to say. And if you really think that it's that I'm good enough, then it'd be much appreciated if you could subscribe as well. But obviously, I'm not a sellout like everybody else, so only if you do genuinely feel as though you'd like to see more content. There is, as I said, a lot of stuff planning or upcoming planned for the video, or for the channel even. So stay tuned, and be sure to follow me on my socials, because I post updates there a lot more than what I do on videos now. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, enough with the rabbiting. Thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video. As per usual, salut, and bye bye for now.